Okay, I have a mic now, so hopefully the audio is a little bit better. Hopefully this works out. I don't know. I did like a little sound check, and this is just where we're at. So, welcome to 1 through 6. I want this to also be a little bit serious, just like how I just started my one where it's like let's overanalyze. I want to do this one where like I just talk about random things or like things in my life, rank them, and yeah. So December 3rd is Sweater Day. You know that Conan Gray song, I still remember the 3rd of December, me and your sweater. And this will be year 7 or 8 that I have not received anyone's sweater since I started liking people. And it's fine. It's whatever. It really is what it is at the end of the day. But today we're going to be talking about 6 boys who have played an important role in my life so far. Majority of these are from high school. There's like 2 from me working, and yeah, and they're also all gonna have they also all have code names, and then we're so I want to talk about them, how I started to like them, their code name, how they found out I liked them, and how things ended. And yeah, so let's start with number 6. Oh, also, this is day 2 of my version of Vlogmas, uploading every day. I barely finished. Today's the first. I woke up this morning. I edited that heated rivalry video, and yeah, so this is where we're at now. But yeah, so number 6, we have Fall. I know who exactly this guy is. So I call him Fall because he reminds me of the season of Fall. All 4 seasons are on this wall. He reminds me of Fall. I met him in my German class, I think sophomore year, and we he plays baseball, and I met him through a friend, my friend Addison. And I would literally only talk to him in that class. I thought he was hot because he definitely looked older than most of the guys there. He was able to grow a full beard like really quickly. Every time he shaved, it was back instantly. Yeah, he's a dumb kind of smart. Like he knows what he's talking about, but he likes to play dumb. And this guy actually never found out that I liked him. I never told him. As far as I know, he doesn't know. Maybe someone had told him. He comes by my job every now and then. He goes to college in town, and I'll say hi. And every time he comes in, I just remember how I feel about him. And he didn't play too much of a big role in my life, but he's relevant enough. He's still relevant enough for me to see him and still have feelings for him. Honestly, I would put him at number 5 instead of 6. Yeah, Fall. Um, I really don't, but I also could keep him at number 6 because I don't have much to say about him. Yeah, 5 and 6 are interchangeable because number 5 is. I want y'all to try to figure this one out. That PlayStation title from 2010. This one really is like you have to dig to find out what this guy's name is. Um, I found out about this guy my senior year of high school. So my first period was my career prep class, and I sat behind I sat in front of this girl, Annalise, and we met in that class. We bonded over Taylor Swift, and she had this friend, that PlayStation title from 2010, and I saw him, and instantly like kind of like fell for him because he was so tall. This man is like very tall. I want to say he was like the tallest kid in the class in our class. And I never had a conversation with this man. I just knew that he was sweet. He also played baseball. He I never had a conversation with him once. And the way he found out that I liked him was because my friend Annalise had told him because he thought it was cute. She said, "You know that kid that sits in front of me? Well, he thinks he's into you." And he was just like, "Oh, okay." And I had a class with him. We had aquatic science together. That was my 3rd period. And never talked to him. Annalise would sometimes send me snaps of him, like Snapchats of him, and he would be like, "Who is this going to?" And she'd be like, "Oh, nobody." and I'd see him, and he had the cutest smile. He really did. He currently goes to school in, I think this guy goes to Oklahoma now, and he's dating someone else. He's dating this girl that I also was friends with, and they're honestly a perfect couple. They were, I want to believe their end game, like just on how perfect they are for each other. But yeah, that's that PlayStation title. Um, Number four, we have baseball. Okay, so even though all three of these guys have played baseball, this is the main baseball guy. We had pre-cal together, and I sat at, I think I sat, okay, so there was a line of four desks, and it went my best friend Lily, me, my friend Naomi, and him, baseball. And I only ever I started talking to him because I basically cheated my whole way through pre-cal. I don't know how I passed that class, honestly. And he would give me the answers that I needed. And we talk about that, and then we started talking about what we're doing after school. I was like, "Oh, where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going to." He was going to a call. He's going to a college in Texas still, and he'd be like, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to go to UTSA." There's actually a funny story behind this guy. So we had these weird desks, and you could pop the corners out, and they were little plastic pieces. I still have them, these things. And he popped them out, and he was like, "Here, do you want one?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I still have it. It's like the only thing he's given to me, and I don't know. I still keep it. And I still think about him. He came to my job the other day, and I try to be nice to my crushes, where it's like I try to just give them like good stuff. And I was like, "Do you want a large drink?" And he was like, "No, just give me the one that comes with it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I haven't talked to this guy since. Fall, I still talk to every now and then, but baseball, I haven't talked to him in forever. The way I confessed my feelings to him on the last day of school, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know, like, I think you're really cute and whatever. I know this isn't gonna go anywhere, but," and also he's like one of the popular kids, and I was like, "And thank you for like talking to me, whatever, like, because you're a popular kid, like, why would you waste your time with me?" And then he was like, "I don't consider myself popular, but like, thank you, and I hope you have a good one." And then he unadded me on Snapchat, so that happened. Yeah, these three is where like there is actually like a story. These were just kind of like last minute things. This one was sophomore year. These two both happened my senior year, so I didn't really get to spend a lot of time of school like liking them. Number three, we have Cameron. His name's not Cameron. I call him Cameron because me and my friends we have this little joke of like the summer I turn pretty where I'm Belly, and this guy would be my Cameron because let me get into it a little bit. So Cameron, I went to school with him, but I never talked to him. I didn't even know he existed. Like, so for real. When I started my new job, he was already working there, and I remember the first time I talked to him, I was like, "Oh, and you are?" And he was like, I'm Cameron." And I was like, "Okay, like, why do you say like nice to meet you or whatever?" Time went by, and I started talking to this guy a little bit more because I'd see him at work. And then it finally clicked one day. I was like, "Oh my God, I went to school with you." And he was like, "Yeah, we went to school with each other." And I was like, "I didn't know that." Like, cause like I never heard anything about you. And he was like, "Oh yeah, like," and then he like the idea I had of him instantly switched up. I thought this was like another one of the rich kids who like just like went to school here. But no, apparently he didn't struggle, but he kind of did, and he worked hard for what he has. I really believe he's a hard worker. Like he he goes to school, and he still goes to school in Texas. I don't remember which one. But he really works for what he has, and all summer he worked at that job to just that ice cream shop you work to make a little money. Like that's how like that's him. And I fell for him really hard. I was like it was one of those like, how have I not noticed you yet? Like I'm just now meeting you. And I feel like there's so much that could have happened. not could have happened, but like for me, there could have been so much character development if I would have met you earlier in my life. And this guy never found out I liked him. But I call him Cameron because he went to school. Well, like summer ended, he went back to school, and he said he probably wasn't coming back. And I call him Cameron because it's just like in the Summer I Turned Pretty, where Cameron just like kind of disappears. He makes like a short appearance in like how many seasons in Summer I Turned Pretty are? I think there's only two. No, there's only three. He was a main one in season one. He's kind of there in season two and just disappears in season three. That's kind of how this guy is. Except it goes. I didn't. He was kind of there in season two. I saw him all of season one and season three. He's just gone. And yeah, that's the story behind Cameron. At number two, we have car keys, and this one is a wild ride. Like, so this was my first guy crush. I okay, so in fifth grade, I asked this girl out, and she rejected me, and I made a joke that I was gonna turn gay. And then in sixth grade, the way schools work here is okay. So there's four elementary schools, and we used to have a sixth grade school. Like there was a school built just for sixth grade, for the sole purpose of their idea was is that they wanted kids to spend a year all together to really figure out who their friends were going to be. It was like a unique concept. And so we all go to sixth grade, and I see this guy, and I instantly fall for him, and I'm like, what is this feeling? Like this is weird. Like this isn't supposed to happen. Like, by everything, this shouldn't be happening. And sixth grade is kind of where I really started discovering myself and who I am. And I would see this guy walking around, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, why are you so hot? Why do I find you hot? Like, this is Texas. So I was like, I shouldn't be finding guys hot. And I would try to distract myself with girls or whatever. And I'd see him, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, you make my heart stop. And so I didn't have a conversation with him or start talking to this guy until I want to say until high school started, like freshman year, because freshman or sophomore year, around the same guys time as this when fall started coming into my life, because we had the same German class, and I'd be like, oh my God, like I want you so bad, like I think about this man all the time, and I had a few conversations with him. He knew that I liked him because he dated one of my friends, and my friend told him, and then he was like, damn, like I can pull both sides. Like that's really how this goes. I recorded a whole voice memo about this guy, like me talking about my feelings because I like needed to like express it in a way. And this guy, I want to say he was one of the rich kids, but he also kind of had it hard. I want to say you could compare him to like Ilya Rozanov in a way, where he told me that his room didn't have windows in it because his dad didn't trust him, and he would like sneak out whatever, and he would argue with his dad. I'm not gonna go too much into that, but that's kind of like where you can kind of compare the two. And I don't know, I just wanted to be like, I had this scenario like, I want to hold you tight because I feel like you have a lot of unresolved issues, and I just want to be I could be here to like listen. I'd listen to you, and you can talk about your problems, and like maybe I can help you. I felt that type of way about him, but I can fix him. No, really, I can, type shit. And I on the last day of school, I did confess my feet. We would text every now and then on Instagram. Would basically be like, "Do you need these answers?" He'd ask me for answers, and I'd give it to him. And then I'd ask him for a computer charger, and he'd give it to me, and I'd give him my computer charger. And on the last day of school, I texted him being like, "You played like an important role in my life. Like I've liked you for so long, and I wish you the best." And he never texted me back. Like Avi. He goes to school. He used to go to school in another state, and then he came back here. I saw him through on my drive-through one time, and we just talked a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for him. There's so much. I feel like there's so much more that I could talk about him. He's like a whole video himself. But I just really can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. Yeah. Okay, at number one. Okay, if I still have a crush on these people. Yes, no, maybe, yes, maybe. This one is yes. This is the most recent one. To complete the triangle, we have Conrad. Um, yeah, so I met Conrad working at my current job, and I fell instantly for him. I went out of my comfort zone with him a lot because first of all, my typing guys, I like tall. All these guys are taller than me. I like strong. Strong and strong. These two are kind of scrawny. This one's really scrawny, scrawny motherfucker with a cool hairstyle for real. These two are like kind of mid, and I like a clean. I really like a clean face. I don't really like facial hair. Has an aftershave, clean face, clean face, clean face, clean face. He had facial hair for a minute and it was the ugliest thing ever, but he has a clean face now. So the way this guy is kind of out of my comfort zone is because also I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'm not really into guys with black hair. I like brown or blonde. Brown, black, brown, brown, blonde. So this guy, he's shorter than me. He has a full beard and his hair is black. So I feel like I really went out of my comfort zone for him, and this one took me by storm. I feel like it's because this is my first crush I've had where I didn't go to school with them or I didn't fall for them during school. Like it is it's crazy. I remember when I confessed my feelings to him. So he found out because okay, so there's a whole thing. So I'm when I started working at this job, I met two girls. We're in a I can kind of use the semi term pretty. So I became friends with Annika and Taylor dated this guy Steven, and Steven and Conrad are best friends. So I was texting Steven and Taylor one day. This is when we were making the whole roster. I was texting Taylor and Annika one day. This is when we were making the whole roster, and Taylor went to go take a shower. Me and Annika were still texting in the group chat like a lot. Steven opened Taylor's phone, read, and was like, "What is this? Like, what is this?" And Taylor explained it to Steven, and basically Taylor had told Steven that I like Conrad. And she was like, "But you can't tell anyone." Well, one of my friends, I can say this one's name. One of my friends, Mirabelle, was in the drive-through when Conrad was training. Steven was training Conrad, and they were talking, and Conrad was talking about how he needs more friends. Like all he really talks to is Devin and Davina. And Maribel was trying to throw me a bone, was like, "Oh, you should talk to Belly." And Conrad was like, I don't know. And Maribel was like, "What? What's up?" And Conrad was like, "I don't know if I should tell anyone." And Maribel was like, "No, tell me." Like trying to like find out the tea. And Conrad was like, "Belly's cool, but I found out he's into me and I don't swing like that. But he's still a homie or whatever." And Maribel reported that to me, and I thought my world was ending. I was like, "Oh my god!" Because every time straight guys I found out that I liked them, most of the time, like besides these ones, most of the times they distance themselves from me, and I end up losing people. Like, cut people out like tags on my clothing type shit. And so I talked to Taylor about it, and I'm probably gonna have to fight your boyfriend or your husband. And she's like, "Why?" And I told her what happened, and then she told me that story, and then she texted him about it, and it became this whole big mess. I didn't talk to them for like 3 days, 3 to 5 days, because I didn't know how to express how I felt because I was scared to. I was like, I'm gonna lose people. I might have to quit my job. And we worked throughout it eventually. They gave me space, and then I was like, I know I haven't talked to you in a while, but I don't know how to talk to you. And then I ended up getting close to them again. And then Conrad told me that he was gonna like end up moving or switching jobs soon. And so I was like, I know he already knows, but I need to know. I want to I want the closure that I told him. I want the not that he found it from someone else. I want him to know that I told him. And so I took him home one day because he doesn't have a car right now. And so I took him home. And when I got to his house, I was like, I need to tell you something. And he was like, what? And I was like, I I know you already know, but like YOLO, like I am so into you. I think about you all the time. I like your. I wanted to use the word like because I felt like love was too strong, and I was like, I like your smile. I like your laugh. I like that you're funny and all this stuff. And I just want you to know that I'm so into you, I and that I know the girl you end up with will be so lucky to have you. And then he was like, thank you. And I kind of give him a pep talk. And I was like, I want you to know that you're doing good. Like, I know like the world feels against you, but I want you to know that you're doing good. And he was like, thank you for that, Belly. Um, like that means a lot. And he gave me a hug. And it was the first time that it's kind of one of the first, it kind of the only times where someone's given me a hug, but I didn't have to initiate it. And he was like, don't worry. Like, as long as you talk to Taylor, you'll always talk to me. And he was like, I'll see you at work tomorrow, okay? And I was like, okay. And he gave me another hug and he left. And I'm really glad that it went better than the way a lot of people thought it was going to be. And now there's like a whole drama thing that I can't talk about. But yeah, Conrad, this is the type of love like you could write a whole album about. Like I want to write a whole album about him, like Taylor Swift type shit. And because I do think about him every day. And from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and obviously he's like the straightest guy alive. All of these guys are straight. Like I've never fallen for a man who's like my sexual orientation. And it also makes me wonder, like, if I ever leave this job or if he leaves, like, will I still be into him or is this just a phase? And he's kind of helping me discover myself in a way where I'm like realizing that like my type is my type is all over the place, and how hard I can fall for someone, and how like really someone can be incorporated into your day-to-day life. Like I know he doesn't think about me outside of work, but I think about him. Like I always wonder what he's up to. And I don't know, it's like I'm still like discovering that part of me in a way. But yeah. Um Also, okay, so these are the seasons I associate with everyone. Obviously, fall is fall. Car Keys is summer. Cameron is spring, and Conrad is winter. But yeah, those are some of the guys who played an important part in my life. I should do this with. I'm wondering if I should do this with girls. But I don't know if I had 6 girls that I can put on my wall. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I know I didn't talk about these guys too much as I wanted to, but I don't know. You kind of get a glimpse into what the type of person I am. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe if you've done so. My next video, because this is going to be uploaded on December 2nd. December 3rd, I do want to do a proper deep dive into Shane and Ilya's relationship from Heated Rivalry from the first 2 episodes. And I want to get that out before the 5th, before episode 3 comes out. But yeah, so that's next. That's going to be the next video I make. I need to type the script or whatever. But yeah, don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Um, bye. Also, I do want to say this before I click stop recording. I have this funny idea where like I have all the obviously I'm using a lot of paper for this type stuff, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I was like, I do have the dream to become a music artist. I was thinking about like imagine like if at my concert, like if I ever make it and like start performing at arenas, if I save all these pieces of paper and I like for my final song they just drop from the air and everyone like grabs one, and like so everyone gets like a piece of paper, and it's like a collector's item, like a one of one, and they can like like, oh, this one's from this video and this is what it means, like blah 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 type shit. I don't know, I just got the random idea. Yeah, bye guys.